Our universe runs on a strict set of fixed numbers. Think of the exact charge of an electron, the speed of light, or the precise strength of gravity. These are the universal constants, the unchangeable mathematical rules that dictate how reality operates. If you tweak these numbers even slightly, everything falls apart. Make gravity just a fraction stronger, and all matter crushes into a dense dead point. Make the nuclear forces holding atoms together a tiny bit weaker, and hydrogen could never fuse. You would have no carbon, no stars, no planets, and no us. The precision required for our existence is difficult to wrap your head around. Imagine standing in total darkness and throwing a dart at an Earth-sized dartboard. Hitting the exact dead center of that massive board is roughly the level of precision our universe requires to exist. When you look at that staggering level of exactness, it feels intentional. It strongly implies that an intelligent designer meticulously set the dials to allow for life. But science operates on observation and physical mechanics. We cannot simply point to a supernatural creator and stop asking questions. We need a natural mechanism that explains why these constants are what they are. So if there is no cosmic architect fine-tuning the dials of reality, we are left with a massive problem. We have to figure out exactly how these absolute rules got set so perfectly in the first place. One potential explanation lies in a concept called eternal inflation. This theory suggests our universe is not alone. Instead, it is just one tiny bubble in a vast boiling cosmic foam, where countless distinct realities are continuously popping into existence, each with its own random set of physics. If you roll an infinite number of dice, you are guaranteed to eventually roll every possible mathematical combination. With an infinite number of universes generating infinite variations of physics, a perfect setup is mathematically inevitable. Under this model, humanity isn't chosen or special. We simply happen to occupy the rare, random winning bubble where the physics naturally allowed life to evolve. But this explanation hits a wall. While an infinite multiverse explains why our specific bubble has the right numbers, it fails to identify the origin of the dice. We are still left wondering what created the overarching rules that govern that cosmic foam. That brings us to a second, much stranger suspect. In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed that an incredibly advanced civilization could build computers powerful enough to simulate conscious beings. If they could do that, they could easily run billions of virtual realities at once. That sounds like science fiction, until you look at certain glitches in our own physics. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect shows that a particle exists as a hazy cloud of probability until it is actively watched. The moment you look, it snaps into a specific location. This behaves exactly like a video game engine, which only renders an environment when a player is looking at it to save processing power. Then there's the speed of light. Nothing in our cosmos can travel faster than this hard, unbreakable barrier. It acts exactly like the maximum processing speed of a computer CPU, an absolute speed limit on how fast data can move through a system. We even have a minimum resolution for space itself. The Planck length is the smallest measurable distance in physics. You cannot zoom in any further than this. It is indistinguishable from the indivisible pixel size of a digital screen. These mathematical quirks are exactly why leading tech visionaries view the idea that we are living in a programmed base reality as highly probable. Even top astrophysicists have publicly stated there is a 50-50 chance that everything we experience is running on a hard drive somewhere. But the simulation hypothesis suffers from a fatal logical flaw. If a programmer designed our universe, who designed the programmer? Are they also inside a simulation? Saying a higher intelligence coded our physics doesn't actually answer the origin of those physics. It just pushes the problem up a level, trapping us in an infinite loop of creators without ever reaching a final explanation. If we want a scientifically grounded answer, we have to look at how nature builds complexity from the bottom up. We can see this clearly in phenomena like bird murmurations. Watch a massive flock of starlings sweep across the sky. They morph into a synchronized wave, moving as if controlled by a single invisible leader. Yet there is no leader. There is no master plan. Every single bird is just following 3 incredibly simple local rules. Don't get too close, don't get too far, and fly the same direction. This is called emergence, And it happens in physics, too. Take temperature. A single isolated molecule isn't hot or cold. Temperature doesn't exist at that scale. It is an emergent illusion that only appears when billions of particles bounce off each other. This demonstrates that complex systems don't require top-down designers. Instead, sophisticated realities can build themselves from a handful of incredibly simple base rules. Now, scale this concept up to the entire cosmos. Many modern physicists suspect that space, time, and even gravity aren't the bedrock of reality. Instead, they emerge from much simpler, deeper quantum interactions. Physicist Max Tegmark argues that we should treat reality as math itself. In his view, the universe is a self-organizing mathematical structure that we only perceive as physical because we exist inside it. The entire history of physics supports this direction. Every time we dig deeper, seemingly different forces unify into simple mathematical truths. James Clerk Maxwell proved that electricity, magnetism, and light are all just different expressions of the exact same underlying force. There is no cosmic programmer. There is no architect tweaking dials. The fundamental forces of reality are likely just variations of one basic mathematical rule organizing itself at scale. From absolute simplicity, infinite complexity naturally and inevitably emerges. Over billions of years, a few basic rules simply multiplied and interacted, eventually building a universe perfectly tuned enough for life to look back at the cosmos and understand its own existence.